Welcome back, everyone, to Murray H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University, and KSL Sports Rewind proud to present this presentation of the UHSAA Baseball Playoffs with our coverage presented by Heidemann and Associates. It's time to start Game 2 of our quadruple header on this opening round day as the Fremont Silverwolves and the Mountain Ridge Sentinels get set to face off to determine who will face who in tomorrow's matchups. And as promised, Josh Dodge filling in for Wilson Gustafson today. Alexander Timler joining alongside him here in the broadcast booth at Larry H. Miller Field. Alrighty, Josh, we already had a crazy game take place in Game 1, as everybody saw Recorder Canyon against Davis. It's fair to say, outside of maybe Syracuse and American Fork, the other three matchups are really toss-ups this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. And like as we saw with the matchup this morning, you don't really know what to expect. It was up and down like with the rain, and you know it really could be anybody's game in this tournament. I'm excited to see how it goes going forward.
Now, Josh, you were on camera, of course. You got to see Corner Canyon beat Davis earlier this afternoon. What should we expect now from this matchup between Fremont and Mountain Ridge? Because as I said earlier, all these matchups for the rest of the day pretty much are toss-ups.
Yeah, I think that with the rain being completely gone now, it's getting warmer, the sun's coming out, that we should see less errors, more precise pitching, and it should be a good day for some baseball between Fremont and Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, and as you said, Josh, the weather has cleared up. In fact, Josh, we came on the air this morning, remember, it was raining. And now all of a sudden, here we are 51 degrees and overcast, and we can look out the back end of Larry H. Miller Field, and there's blue sky out there right now, which makes it weird.
I mean, that's just Utah weather for you. You know, like it'll be raining in one spot and sun in the other spot, and it like gives you hope. And
yeah, they always tell you, right? Wait 20 minutes if you don't like the weather.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll change in 20 minutes.
Yeah, so if we're gonna get all four seasons today, then we got to get like a tornado in here. We got to get 90-degree weather, and then we got to get snow to cap it all off in the evening.
Well, I don't think we're gonna hit that far, but now let's focus in on the pitching matchup today. Of course, Ethan Iacono will get the start on the mound for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels as we bring you the starting lineup presented by Heidemann Associates. It's time to find out who the coaches have assembled as their winning teams today, like the team that is assembled to win for you, the client. Heidemann Associates is a proud sponsor of the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of UHSAA baseball. For the Fremont Silverwolves, they'll start with shortstop Karsten Jamison at the top of their order. Brick Grange, the catcher, will be second. Pitcher Anthony Marziali will be third. Cleanup is first baseman Garrett Jones. He'll be followed by third baseman Max Johnson. Second baseman Tyson Grieve bats sixth. Grady Garrett, the DH, bats seventh. Jace Hadley bats eighth. And Brady Penland, the left fielder, rounds out the bottom of the order for head coach Garrett Clark. On the other side for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, they'll have Ethan Iacono on the mound. And in the bottom of the first, they'll have Stockton Folks leading off with Jackson Reiser, the center fielder, second. Remington Edwards, the right fielder, third. Austin Ellis, the catcher, batting fourth as cleanup. T.H. Cooper Goff in the 5-hole. Iacono, the pitcher, in the 6-hole. And then 7, 8, 9 goes Luke Nelson, Juan Gonzalez, and shortstop Leo Bachioco. Both these teams coming off, of course, 2-0 sweeps in the Super Regionals last week. Lone Peak gave Mountain Ridge a fight before the Sentinels were able to put it away. And the Fremont Silverwolves also had some trouble with Pleasant Grove. It took all 7 innings for them to win both of those games in the Super Regionals. So here we go then. Game 2 ready to get underway with shortstop Karsten Jamison walking into the batter's box to face Ethan Iacono. In the top of the first inning, Fremont wearing their road black uniforms, Mountain Ridge wearing their home red uniforms today. A la the Atlanta Braves, although the Braves wear their reds on Friday rather than on Monday.
Do you think that's a bad omen if you're comparing him to the Braves?
Listen, dude, the Braves won the World Series 3 years ago, so as Iacono's first pitch is in there for a strike, and we're off and running this afternoon. First pitch officially 2:29 p.m. Mountain Time here at Larry Miller Field. 0-1 pitch is outside, 1 ball, no, 1 strike.
Hey, I'm from Tennessee, so the Braves are my team as well.
Well, that's good to know. Maybe it's a good omen. Maybe it's a good omen after all that they're wearing red. That pitch is outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, I was just pointing out the discrepancy between Friday Reds and Monday Reds, so, you know.
Well, the Braves do occasionally wear red on Mondays, especially if it's a holiday. That pitch is down and in, and already 3 balls and a strike, the count here on the shortstop, Karsten Jamison. Three-one offering on the way from Ethan Yacono, and that is lifted in the air to left and just foul down
just
the
out
line.
of his reach.
Stockton Folks gave it a good chase down there at third base, but it's a full count now with nobody out and the first batter of the game. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes on the shortstop, Karsten Jamison. Yacono kicks and deals. That is inside ball 4, and the leadoff runner is aboard to start festivities here this afternoon in Game 2. And that'll bring up the catcher, Brig Grange. Runner on first, nobody out, top of the first. Yacono's first pitch is high and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Anthony Marziale, the pitcher, is next. As an extra ball had to get thrown out because the other one was unplayable, as it were. 1-0 pitch. Hit into the netting. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on first is Karsten Jamison. Nobody out, top of the first. Here's the pitch. This one is ripped foul to the left side as Grange was way out in front of that one.
And it hit the fence before it goes on to University Parkway.
Thank goodness for that. We've had several balls in some of the games that BYU has played reach out of bounds of Miller Field as the 1-2 pitch is brought down and it's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Alex, do you think we're going to see any home runs in this game?
I don't even know if we're going to see home run. Well, I don't know. Well, it certainly is rare, but I hope we'll see one at least. This one is tip foul back to the screen.
One thing that
But the other thing is, too, you got to understand, like, we're playing in a college-level ballpark here, Josh. I mean, straightaway center's 402, even with the altitude. That's quite a carry.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's going to be bigger than your high school fields. But one thing that I wanted to point it out, discrepancy between these two teams, is Fremont on the season has, as Jamison hits ball into left field and makes it to first base. As I was saying, there's a stat discrepancy between these two teams. Fremont only having 7 home runs on the season and Mountain Ridge having 26. So, you know, what kind of batting are we going to see from these two teams today?
Right, because as you pointed out, the power discrepancy is pretty obvious. I mean, but that kind of tells you that Fremont kind of hits more small ball, but Mountain Ridge goes for the power ball move, you have to say. So it will be interesting to see which approach wins out in the end. As this one is hit in the air to left on the first offering, sending the left fielder back, and that ball is caught. What a catch! Over the shoulder. That time by the left fielder, Grayson Riding. And so there's one gone here with runners on first and second. As Josh was talking, as we said, Brig Grange hitting that liner into left past the hole at short and third for the first base hit of the ball game, the single.
Oh, did I say Jamison? I meant Grange. Excuse me.
Yes, Jamison is out there standing on second base, Josh. But it's still early. It's still early. We're getting our legs under us here.
Definitely. I can see everything now.
Yes, we can, as this one is hit over the tarp and onto the roof. So that means it's time for an Any Hour Services random roof ringer for the first time. We're going to get to that after this pitch here by Yacono. 1-0-1 count with one out here in the top of the first. This one is again hit in the air and hit short of the roof, but it hits into the seats right in front of us.
All right, Alex, so we know that hot dogs are the most popular ballpark food item. Guess how many hot dogs were consumed in the 2014 MLB season?
Oh, that's going to be a tough one to come up with. As Yacono has a couple of looks back at second. Now the 0-2 pitch is hit on the ground to second and through. That's a base hit. That'll send Jamison at least to third. They will hold him there. And on an 0-2 count, the single will load the bags full of Wolves with only one out with 2 hits. And so I'll take a stab at that one, as we are already going to have a mound visit here from head coach Brock Whitney.
I'll give you a hint on the hot dogs. It's enough to stretch across the United States from Dodger Stadium in LA to Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Oh boy, no, now you're really digging here as we're having a mound visit here with the bases loaded and 1 out. Dang, man, I mean that's got to be in the realm of the millions, of tens of millions of hot dogs.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark, pun intended.
Well, is it? I'm gonna say it's about 12 million.
Well, you're about 10 million off. It's 21,357,316 hot dogs.
Jeez Louise. I mean, 21 million hot dogs? I mean, that's ridiculous. 21 million hot dogs. Can you imagine how many cougar tails that would be stretching around the earth at this point?
Well, and cougar tails are longer than hot dogs.
That's true, yeah.
So if you had the same number of cougar tails, then you could probably stretch to London at that point.
Yeah, you could probably go to London and back with that as we bring up.
I mean, 21 million hot dogs isn't out of the realm of possibility when you're considering the 999 challenge.
Yes, exactly.
that you and Ty alluded to.
Yes, exactly. As Max Johnson, now the third baseman, comes up. The 5th man in the order following the single by Garrett Jones. First pitch on the way from Yacono is lined to the right, foul. Look out.
Clears everything. Into Helaman Halls.
Yep, and that is going into Helaman Halls' parking lot over there. Somebody's insurance just went up. And a couple of fans over there had to duck. 0-1 pitch is down and away, ball 1.
Wasn't going to chase that one.
Yeah, learned his lesson from the last one. Didn't chase that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with the bags full of Silverwolves. And here comes the pitch. That is on the corner and away. 2 balls and a strike.
All right, bases loaded. Are we going to see our first score of the game here?
Here's the 2-1. That one is on the corner. Nice pitch, strike 2. Froze Max Johnson on the inside half. 2-2 now. With the bags full of black shirts. Yacono kicks, steals. Just a little bit high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Had to snatch it down a couple of inches. Three-two. Back to the screen.
That ball was coming right at me.
Yeah, 7th pitch.
If not for the net, it might have hit me in the face.
Well, you in the face. It might have hit me in the face as my window is more open than yours. Here's the full count offering. And
the net saved us.
Outside ball 4. And the Fremont Silverwolves strike first. They go up 1-0 here in game 2. And the bags remain full. So an RBI walk for Max Johnson, and now here comes Tyson Grieve, the second baseman. First pitch coming from Yacono. Down low, 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss right through the catcher's glove. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brock Whitney just trying to get something in play here to get his pitcher out of this jam he's in right now. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Strike 2. Grady Garrett, the DH, stands on deck. Runners everywhere. 1-2. Down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. From the belt, kicks and deals. He struck him out.
Baited him. Got him.
And that's a biggie. That makes it 2 gone now with the bases still loaded. And Josh, that was huge.
Yeah, definitely. When you've got a count like that where you're trying to make him chase and you finally get him, it's got to feel good as a pitcher to get that strikeout when the bases are loaded like this.
So here comes Grady Garrett, the DH, trying to cause some more damage with 2 outs. First pitch. Hit up the middle. That's going to get through. 1 run is in. Here comes Marziali. He will score without a throw. That's Jones, excuse me. And it is 3-0 in favor of Fremont. A 2-run single for Grady Garrett. And boy, Josh, the Silverwolves have come out on all cylinders here in this top of the first inning, and it's exactly what we were talking about earlier, them playing small ball. They are taking advantage here early on in this one.
Oh, it's kind of taken the same course as our previous game, where the underdog in this tournament is kind of taking a lead, like you said, small ball, where they're able to get their base hits, load the bases, and then just bring them around.
So already 2 mound visits to Ethan Yacono, the starting pitcher, and it has been a rough start here for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. First pitch coming is high and inside to Jace Hadley, the center fielder, and now here comes catcher Austin Ellis out to the mound.
Just calm his nerves. You got this, man.
Easier said than done right now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be on that mound.
Yeah, especially with 2 runners on and already 3 home. Runner on second, runner on first. 3 runs already home in this inning. Here comes the pitch. This one is at the knees for a strike. Good crisp fastball there from Ethan Yacono.
See, that's just what he needed. A little pat from his catcher.
Yeah, probably let a little extra steam out on that pitch as well. Here comes the 1-1 with a look back at second. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Another fastball blew it right by him. How huge it would be for Ethan Yacono to get out of this inning with giving up only 3 runs. Another one stands out at second. Another potential one on first. Here comes the 1-2 offering. Takes the look and
very late took
a little bit too long there for the umpire's liking. So let's try it again. 1-2. Got him.
Oh, tip.
Yep, a tip right into the glove.
Oh, yeah, and that'll be out.
And that'll be the final out of the inning. And finally, the Silverwolves the Sentinels get out of the jam. But the Silverwolves score 3 on 3 base hits. They lead 2, and they have an early 3-0 lead with the Sentinels coming to bat on the rewind.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Bottom of the first inning, and the Mountain Ridge Sentinels already facing a bit of a hill to climb here in the first inning. They are trailing 3-0 on the strength of a 2-run single by Grady Garrett, or rather by second baseman Tyson Grieve, and then an RBI walk drawn by Max Johnson, and it makes it 3-0 in favor of the Silverwolves. Alexander Timolip alongside a broadcast partner, Josh Dodge, filling in for Wilson Gustafson today. Wow, Josh, we were just talking about it. The difference between the power ball and the small ball. Clearly, Fremont is showing you why they are the masters at small ball in Region 1 this season.
Yeah, definitely. And are they going to be able to hold the power of Mountain Ridge in check as they hold on to this lead at the bottom of the first?
It'll be up to Anthony Marziale to try and do that, as the bat weight cover is loose on the on-deck circle, so they'll have to bring it back in. Stockton Fulks, the third baseman, leads off here in the bottom of the first inning for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, who are trying to at least check in with the run to make this somewhat of a lesser hill to climb, as that pitch is taken for a strike from Anthony Marziale, the left-hander. Marziale was the only one that did not register a hit in the first inning, along with a couple of his other mates as this one is grounded toward the hole, and it gets through for a base hit. Folks will make the aggressive turn at first. He'll come back in, and the first base hit of the game belongs to the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Or rather, the first hit. The first hit of the Sentinels' day, I should say. For Stockton Folks, and now here comes the center fielder, Jackson Reiser. With a runner already on first. Just underway here in the bottom of the first. That one is down low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Sun finally coming out here at Larry H. Miller Field on this 51-degree day that started off with a lot of rain. Marciali's 1-0 pitch is fouled right back to the screen.
Yeah, that turf's got to still be saturated from this morning's, but with the the dry heat that we get here in Utah, it often just dries right up pretty quickly. So we'll see if it still affects the play as we go forward.
And remember, this is full on turf. There's no dirt on this infield as the next pitch comes down. That's right at the knees for a strike. Good placement there from Marciali, and it's 1-2. Runner on first. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Mountain Ridge trying to get on the board and put a dent in this early momentum for Fremont. 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Right in on the hands. And there's one gone here in the bottom of the first. First K of the day for the lefty Anthony Marciali. And that'll bring up the right fielder Remington Edwards. Top of the first inning for Fremont. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Sent 7 men to the plate. Marciali's first pitch to Edwards is down low. 1 ball, no strikes. The runner on first is Folks following his leadoff single. The 1-0. Grounded to short. And they're going to go the long way to first, but the ball slips right out of Karsten Jamison's hand. Well, right on cue, Josh, you talked about how the wetness of the turf might affect the players. There's example A.
Yeah, and he might not have been expecting it because the sun is out, just forgetting that there's still moisture on that turf, and with that ground ball going into his glove, it just slipped out of his hand as he tried to get the throw at it first, but never left the spot that he was throwing from. Kind of just fell down behind him.
Well, that's got to be the worst feeling as an infielder to have that happen to you. Credit that as an E6 on Karsten Jamison.
Oh, we got a stray ball on the field.
And then the ball goes toward the backstop too. And then the pass ball went back towards the backstop, and I think the home plate umpire is making the right call here to send the runners back to first and second because there was a ball that came out. You called it, Josh. But Brock Whitney's arguing his case right now that the pitch was already thrown before the ball came out, but it doesn't matter.
It was pretty simultaneous. As the pitch was coming down, the stray ball was crossing the third base line. So it's up to the umpire here.
So home plate umpire is going to make the call, and he sends the runners back to first and second, which I think, Josh, is honestly the right call.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, when you have something like that doesn't usually happen, and it's pretty bang bang. You gotta make a call and gotta make it fair for everybody.
So let's try it again. Still 1 ball, no strikes, or rather, still 0-0. No, it was not officially first pitch.
One ball, 0 strikes is what the umpire signaled.
Okay, now we're all straightened out on that. Now it's 1-1. This one's fouled toward the backstop. I could never be an umpire in this kind of a sport.
I ref high school soccer, and
that's got to be more stressful than this.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you do have to do running rather than just standing behind a plate, and that's nothing against these umpires here. But having to make split-second decisions that are going to impact the game, that is as competitive as this.
Boy, wow, what a play over at third. Brink Grange guns down the runner at third. Caught stealing. What a great time and a call for the pitch out. And now Brock Whitney once again is going to walk over to the third base umpire. He thought he was safe. But I thought that was pretty clear from up here, Josh, that the runner was gone.
That's the call that I saw, and the third base coach tells his player to stay there because he's pretty confident that he's going to be able to make this case for him to stay there.
I don't know. Brock Whitney's walking back, so
yeah, there's the slow walk back to the dugout.
And Whitney's still jawing at the third base umpire. He better be careful. The last thing you want to do is get ejected, because then you have to serve a suspension for the next game, and then you have to take a course. So
Yeah,
that's not. I mean, you don't want to do that here in this situation, especially with 2 balls and a strike and 2 out now, as that pitch is a little bit high and away, 3 balls and a strike.
Oh, and it's really early. You know, we're just at the bottom of the first inning. It's their first at bat. You'd be gone for 2 whole games essentially. If you eject it here, have to sit out the next one. So it's really not worth it at this point.
That one is foul tipped off the catcher, then off the umpire.
But yeah, in our first game today, well, all of the drama included, pitching changes, yeah, and such like that. But if we
already fireworks here as well between the coaches.
Right, exactly.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out for Marziali, trying to hold him off. Payoff on the way. That's inside ball 4, and once again there are runners on first and second with 2 out.
Now waiting, number 29, Cooper Goff.
So now here comes Cooper Goff up to the plate, the designated hitter, as we have a pinch runner now going out to first. Replacing the catcher, Austin Ellis.
Running for the Sentinels, number 10, Cannon Honeycutt.
It is Cannon Honeycutt, who is over at first base, as announced by public address announcer Paul Binns. Shout out to him. And, of course, Curtis Pettingill, who's responsible for giving us the lineups today. 2 out here, bottom of the first. Runner in scoring position once again, and the first pitch is on the corner for strike 1. Goff, the left-hander, going up against Marziali, the left-hander. Runner on first, runner on second, 2 out. And the pitch is tipped foul to the backstop, and it's 2 strikes. A hit and an error in this inning for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Leadoff single by Stockton Folks, but he was thrown out at third trying to steal. And then an error on Karsten Jamison. 0-2 pitch. Just got enough of that one to foul it to the backstop. Already a lot of deep pitch counts for both of these pitchers in this first inning. 0-2 pitch. He struck him out! The Mountain Ridge Sentinels threaten, but they're unable to break through. 2 runners stranded on a hit and an error and a caught stealing in the inning. At the end of the first inning, our score, Mountain Ridge trails 3-0. Go to the top of the second on the rewind after this.
Mountain Ridge Sentinels, 33.
Well, as we get set to start the second inning, we've already had a lot of fireworks here early on. It's 3-0 in favor of the Mountain Ridge favor of the Fremont Silverwolves. Alexander Timolip alongside Josh Dodge here at Larry H. Miller Field. Well, Paul Binns just announced the pitch counts through 1 inning of play. Mountain Ridge starter Ethan Iacono threw 33 in that first inning, and Anthony Marziali threw 18 in that first inning. So a lot of deep counts here early on for these hitters, but in the long run, Josh, that's kind of the small ball mentality that you would think favors the Fremont Silverwolves.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you're doubling up on pitches in the first inning, and if we extrapolate for all these innings, however long that Iacono is going to stay in, that's going to add up quickly, and you're going to have a pitching change sooner rather than later. And again, with Fremont being able to put away 3 runs in that first inning, it's only going to compound from here if Mountain Ridge isn't able to play some better defense in this inning.
It would also help too if they get their offense going as well, because you talked about the caught stealing at third base where Folks was running for third. That proved to be really, really costly for them offensively.
Yeah, it just takes the wind out of their sails. You get picked off at third base. You have the stray ball going onto the field and sending the runners back to first and second. So yeah, they've definitely got some work to do here.
Starts top of the second here with Yacono throwing the ball low and away, ball one, for his 34th pitch already through one inning. And now it's 2-0. And you have to wonder how long it's going to be before Brock Whitney is forced to get an arm up in that bullpen. 2-0 pitch. That is a beauty right there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike now.
Nobody's graced the bullpen yet, but it's definitely going to be in the back of his mind.
Yeah, definitely could be, as that pitch is right there on the knees. Strike 2. Great pitch. The 2-2 offering on the way. That one bounces up to the plate, 3-2, so a full count here.
It was going to be a prayer to have him chase that one.
Three-two pitch. Hit in the air to right. On a line. And coming in a couple of steps and making the catch is Remington Edwards. And there's one out. The Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the UHSAA baseball playoffs continues tomorrow. It all starts tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. with the loser of this game facing off against the Davis Darts. The winner of this game will play the Corner Canyon Chargers at 4:30. Wherever you're watching, tune in on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com for all the Spring Sports Championship action, as this one is smoked in the air to center field. Under it is the center fielder, Jackson Reiser, makes the catch, and just like that, there's 2 out on 1 pitch.
This is exactly what Mountain Ridge needed. Just a couple of line drive outs, it's Little League out there. Just get a couple easy outs, and put Fremont on edge here, as they got nobody on base right now.
First pitch is high and away to the catcher, Brig Grange. Anthony Marziali, the pitcher, stands on deck. One-0 pitch on the way to Grange. That one is hit in the air again to center. Tough run here for Reiser, but he comes in, makes the catch on the run, and that ends the inning. In the top of the second, no runs, hits, or errors as the Sentinels set down the Silverwolves in order. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. 3-0 our score. Fremont leads.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Well, a beautiful look there at a now cloudless and green Y Mountain up there here at BYU on the campus, just south of the Marriott Center. Alexander Timmel alongside Josh Dodge. Game 2 of our quadruple header in this opening round of the 2024 UHSAA 6A baseball tournament. And Josh, you and I were talking about how many pitches that starter Ethan Yacono threw that last inning. No matter how many pitches he threw, you have to say that's a great job by him to get a clean inning, because that's exactly what Mountain Ridge needed.
Oh, definitely, and to be able to get out of there quickly and cut down on that pitch count, from 33 down to 8, with his total being in the 40s now, he's got to feel good about getting another one under his belt and not giving up 3 more runs.
And it comes with the territory as well. You want to check in with the run. I mean, Mountain Ridge had an opportunity in that first inning, and it went by the by. You'd have to think this is a great opportunity for them to check in with a run here in the second.
Yeah, they definitely have to capitalize, or else it's going to be a long day for them if they can't put a run in here in this inning.
0 for 1 RASP in the bottom of the first inning, as the first pitch from Marziale is down at the knees and low. 1 ball, no strikes to the pitcher, Ethan Yacono. 1-0 pitch. That one is lined foul to the right, and that goes into the parking lot of Helaman Halls. One the count. Marziale comes set, and the pitch is hit once again foul, and this one is again going into Helaman Halls' parking lot.
Same spot.
Yeah.
Same exact spot.
It is almost exactly the same spot. And right over those two fans over there down in the right field corner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one is hit off the mound and into center field for a base hit. So the pitcher, Yakono, comes through with a second base hit of the afternoon, and once again, Mountain Ridge, a leadoff single. And they now are in position to cause some damage as another pinch runner comes out here. It looks like it is, once again, Cannon Honeycutt. Actually, this time it's Tegan Jenkins, number 50, that's running for the pitcher, Yakono. So 1 on, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning, Mountain Ridge down 3-0, but they need a run. Marciale will step off the mound. Marciale has a look at first. Now the pitch is high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, the Sentinels put up a crooked number against Lone Peak in the second game of their series last week. They put 7 up in the 6th inning. As that pitch is high 2-0, Anderson Decker had 10 strikeouts in that game. Talk about a quality start. Marciale comes set, 2-0 pitch on the way. Hit to the right side, base hit. That's going to be down the line. They'll wave the runner, Jenkins. Jenkins will get to third. The stop sign is put up. It's a double. And the Sentinels really threatening now with runners on second and third with nobody out.
Now playing 24, Juan Gonzalez.
And that will bring up Juan Gonzalez, the second baseman, with Leo Bachioco on deck. Mountain Ridge starting to find their groove a little bit with the small ball approach of their own. First pitch on the way is high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Marziale's just got to calm down a little bit here. He's got to hit his marks, get deep in the count here.
1-0 pitch on the way. Left side off the screen. 1-1. You're right, Josh. A lot of high-stress situations here in this first couple of innings here for both these pitchers. Marciale comes set. And the 1-1 on the way is inside. This did not hit him. Gonzalez trying to plead his case that it did hit him, but the home plate umpire wasn't buying it, and I don't think we would have bought it either.
Just a little gamesmanship there. Trying to
2-1 pitch. This one is hit into center, base hit. That'll score 1. Here comes the second. The throw to the plate is not in time.
Now it's a baseball game.
A 2-run single for Juan Gonzalez, and the Ridge Sentinels do check in with that hit they do desperately needed. And it's now 3-2. And here comes the shortstop, Leo Bachioco, now to the plate. Well, we said fireworks. We're getting them right now. That one's inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, now we're starting to hear it from this crowd.
Well, one side of the crowd, at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were jeering earlier. Now they're cheering.
This one is lined foul to the right, now to play off the pine tree.
with this playoff atmosphere, you're always going to be antsy to start off and to be able to get on the board like this. You just kind of need to get your foot in the door, and then you can really start playing.
Already 3 hits in this inning, 2 runs as the runner takes off. That one's hit into right, dropping fast. It is caught, and the throw's going to come back in, and they're going to double up the runners. Scored an F9-3 double play. And once again, Josh, we have to keep hammering on it. That could be costly in a game like this.
Yeah, it's definitely an error by Gonzalez to not tag on the bag and wait for the fly out.
So back to the top of the order, Stockton Folks. And that's on the corner for a strike. So Folks was picked off at third in the first inning. That took away a run opportunity. And now the F9-3 double play takes away another opportunity.
I definitely think that Mountain Ridge has done what they needed to do in this inning, but they don't want to stop here.
2 runs on 3 base hits, no errors in this inning. Have scored for Mountain Ridge. Here comes the pitch. That one is a bouncer up to the plate, off the carpet, 2 balls and a strike. Folks led off with a single. And then Austin Ellis led off with a single here in the second inning. This one's popped up high into the air, coming toward the dugout, and that's going to land on top of the dugout and bounce up where the Syracuse Titans are sitting. And that is a 2-ball, 2-strike count, now 2 out. Two runs have already scored here in this inning, 3-2 in favor of Fremont. The payoff. Outside low. And the count goes full. Folks already singled to left field today on a hard hit ground ball that got through the hole. And here he takes a walk. So a 2-out walk for Stockton Folks, and that will bring up the center fielder Jackson Reiser. And already the 7th man that Mountain Ridge is sent to the plate here in this inning, but they've only got 2 runs. As this one is hit in the air to right and foul. Now it's going to head over into the Helaman Halls parking lot.
Now, Reiser is one of Mountain Ridge's best hitters. He is leading the team in RBIs this season, and so it's definitely going to be crucial for them to stay in the inning here with him at the plate.
Yeah, ball bounces up to the plate there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Already some opportunities gone by the wayside for Mountain Ridge. We keep harping on it. 1-1 pitch is inside and high, 2 balls and a strike. Stockton Folks was picked off at third in the first inning, which took away a run, and then, of course, the F9-3 double play was another one that was a real rally killer for this Sentinels team. That one is high again, 3 balls and a strike. And here comes the catcher, Brig Grange, out to have a chat with his pitcher. What makes it interesting, Josh, is that all the runs, most of the runs that we saw in the earlier game between Corner Canyon and Davis came because of errors by the pitchers and catchers. Here, it's more of the small ball mentality, which we talked about, could benefit Fremont in the long run.
Yeah, and I think that partially is due to the rain, and I think that these teams are more evenly matched, and they've definitely got their work cut out for them as they're exchanging blows here early.
That's a good pitch, cut on and missed there, strike 2. So the count goes full here on Jackson Reiser. And you'd have to think that the runner will be taken off here on the 3-2 count. There goes the runner. And this is fisted weakly. And sprinting is Marciale. As Reiser tried to dive in there head first, but couldn't get there in time. And that retires the side. But the Mountain Ridge Sentinels do answer back with 2 runs in the second inning on 3 base hits, no errors. And they left a runner on first base at the close of 2 full innings. It is now Fremont 3, Mountain Ridge 2. In Game 2 of our quadruple header of the opening round here on the Rewind Sports Network. Proud to have any hour services as part of our sponsorship group this season. We also like to remind you the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA baseball tournament is presented by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered for all seasons of the year. Use the promo code REWIND for 20% off your next order when you order from Igloo Outfitters. That's IGLU Outfitters. Well, the sun finally is out here at Larry H. Miller Field. Alexander Timov alongside Josh Dodge for Game 2 of our quadruple header here on this opening round day of the UHSAA 6A baseball tournament. Pitch counts could become a factor here. 44 for Fremont, now 42 for Mountain Ridge here through only 2 innings. And we just barely are starting the top of the third here.
Yeah, and for the pitch count and the score to be more evened out, as you alluded to, like at the start of the game here, it's going to be a toss-up. It's going to be a competitive atmosphere where these players are ready to come out and play. The sun is out, and it's let's play some ball here in the third inning.
Anthony Marcial will lead off here in the top half of the third inning. The pitcher. First pitch from Ethan Iacono is in there at the knees for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Grounded foul up the right side. 2 strikes. Marcial steps out. Current conditions at Provo Airport now, and currently in Provo now 55 degrees with south-southeast wind at 8. It's still a little bit cloudy, but the sun is out, thank goodness.
Yeah, it was going to be make for a dreary day if we just kept getting on and off rain drizzling on us the whole day.
It was raining quite constantly throughout the first game. I mean, it was off and on for the better part of, the first 3 or 4 innings or so, and then it started getting biblical again in the 6th. Here comes the 0-2. Grounded foul once again up the right side. So that's 3 straight.
Just going to open up your hips a little bit more.
No balls, 2 strikes, no out. 0-2 pitch is hit in the air to right. Looping down the line. That's a fair ball. Marcial with aggressive turn at first. He'll trot back in, but it's a leadoff single to begin the top half of the third inning. So the pitchers showing they can also rake a little bit.
And Marziali's decision to stay at first really gives onus to how Fremont is approaching this game because, as you've mentioned, seen a couple costly decisions from Mountain Ridge, whereas Fremont is really calculated in how they want to get on base and make sure that they don't waste any opportunities.
And we saw, right, in the first game, Josh, I mean, Corner Canyon was 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Davis was just 1 for 8. And Davis had some golden opportunities, and they couldn't cash in. And it looks like the same story's been playing out here the first 2+ innings as the pinch runner at first for Fremont. That's Luke Penland. His dive back in was in time. Here's the first pitch now to Garrett Jones, who scored on the 2-run single to open up proceedings this afternoon. He takes high ball 1. Next pitch. That's high and inside, 2-0.
Yeah, and I suppose that ratio of scoring position runners is, what kind of risk are you going to take? This is the state state tournament for 6A. Like it's the highest level of high school baseball that we've got. And, even though it's a double elimination tournament, like you don't want to go to the losers bracket. You want to win and you want to go on and you want to give yourself the best chance to have the best run at a state championship.
Right, and you don't want to leave it right. And like you said, Josh, I mean, you don't want to leave it in the hands of those that are trying to play it out, as the 3-0 pitch is away, ball 4, and that's a 4-pitch walk. And here comes Max Johnson.
14, Max Johnson.
And we can also tell, like, that's how aggressive these teams are playing it. I mean, it really does make a difference. So here comes Max Johnson, who drew the RBI walk to get the man in from third, and then Tyson Grieve came up with the big 2-run single. Runners on first and second. Yacono has a look back. Now the pitch. And he tried to lay a bunt down, but he went. And it's a strike. Again, Johnson was credited with the RBI walk, and then Tyson Grieve with the 2-run single to make it 3-0.
Yeah, if the scoring position runners is going to be the padlock stat of the day, that bunt attempt was just going to get those runners in position better.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, because there's nobody out, so you might as well, right? I mean, what do you got to lose?
Exactly.
0-1 pitch coming. Yacono has a couple of looks back at second, now throws it, and that one is caught on and missed, strike 2. Well, you have to think Yacono gets a strikeout here. That would be a big help to his team, given he's already thrown over 50 pitches, and we not even played 2 1/3 innings yet. 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. And he does get the big strikeout right there, and there's one gone here in the bottom half, or the top half of the third.
And that's going to continue Mountain Ridge's momentum in this game, as they were able to put 2 runs away in at the bottom of the second, and the strikeout's got to feel good for Yacono at this point.
So up steps Tyson Grieve, who had the 2-run single to open up proceedings this afternoon. First pitch on the way, as Yacono has a couple of looks back, now throws it and bounces one up to the plate. Runners thought about going, but in the end, hold off. One out here in the top half of the third inning. Mountain Ridge trailing 3-2, and Fremont threatening to add more on. We've already seen one upset today, but you have to think this was going to be a toss-up between these two teams, coming down to who could take advantage of their opportunities. So far, Fremont, the better at doing that. 1-0 pitch. Good changeup, swung on a miss for a strike.
Tyson Grieve looked like he was a bit unsure about swinging at that. He was a little slow at the swing.
1-1 pitch. He was down low with that one, 2-1. He looked a little unsure of that one, too, where the bottom was going to fall out on that changeup.
Yeah, he didn't go on that one, but yeah, I think the pitcher's definitely in his head now, Yacono is.
2-1 pitch. That one just misses the corner. 3 balls and a strike, and now Yacono is in danger of loading the bases again.
Tyson Grieve's got to be smart here with this 3-1 count.
But if he gets anything close, you know he's going to swing at it. Here comes the 3-1 offering on the way. And that one is not even close. And the bases are once again full. And what? We still have only one out here in the inning.
Number 7, Grady Garrett.
So here comes Grady Garrett, the DH. But if there's a silver lining to this, Josh, that Fremont, or rather Mountain Ridge has Fremont in a double play situation, though it's easier said than done.
Yeah, definitely. On paper, you could be in a situation where you can pick somebody off or be able to get him at the plate, but you're also in danger of and going down even more here.
That one is chopped foul over to the dugout. 1 strike. Score update from UVU right now. Second game, top of the 6th inning. Salem Hills leads Box Elder 12-3. From the belt, kicks and deals. And that one is down low again. You'd have to think that Yacono is approaching 60 pitches, if not over 60 pitches at this point already. We've only played 2 1/3. That one bounces up to the plate, and it's 2-1 now.
It's just getting away from him. I wouldn't be surprised if Mountain Ridge's head coach made a visit to the mound soon.
Well, Brock Whitney's been on the top step for quite a bit. And I'm just shocked he hasn't thrown anybody in the bullpen either, so apparently he trusts Yacono enough to get out of this jam. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. And that's going to get to the backstop. Throw to the plate is in time to get him. He did not touch the plate. He did not touch the plate. Yacono on the slide was able to get just enough of the foot before the runner touched home base. And that's a biggie.
Yes, that's a great hustle play by Iacono. He put 3 pitches in a row into the turf, and then he is able to get to the plate before the runner scores for Fremont.
So it'll go down as a wild pitch, but regardless, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's redemption for his own mistake, kind of.
The bad news is it's still 3 balls and a strike.
And there's two runners in scoring position.
Yacono kicks, steals. Ball 4 again. So the pitcher taketh, and then he giveth one right back. And once again, the bases are loaded for the Fremont Silverwolves. And here comes Jace Hadley, the center fielder.
At plate number 1, Jace Hadley.
Boy, you talk about some high-stress pitches that these 2 pitchers have had to make so far. I mean, they're getting their money's worth right now. This crowd here at Miller Field on a now starting to become sunny day. Here comes the first pitch to Hadley. Misses the corner. 1 ball, no strikes. Brady Penland, the left fielder, stands on deck. That one does not catch the corner. 2-0. Bases are full of black shirts again. 2-0 pitch. Bounces up to the plate again. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, we really are starting to see that fatigue setting in now from that 33-pitch first inning, and Iacono is just really in his druthers right now.
Need a strike. Gotta get a strike. 3-0 pitch on the way. Ball 4. 4-2 Fremont.
He's pulling it. He's pulling it, and he's not getting it to the plate.
And still no movement from Brock Whitney over there down the line at third. And here comes Brady Penland. And now, finally, we see movement towards the bullpen. First pitch on the way, and again, it bounces in the dirt and wide. That's the 3rd or 4th pitch we've seen do that. And now here comes the pitching coach out to the mound, not surprising. And I think, Josh, more than anything, this is to get a little extra time for the reliever to get warm.
Yeah, I mean, with 2 outs left in the top of the inning here, you either got to finish it out and sit down for the reliever to come in, or you got to go ahead and sit down right now, because it's like 7 of 8 pitches now that he's put in the dirt, and yeah, he's pulling it. He's fatigued, and He looks like he is going to step off the mound at this point. Or no, he's still out there. Excuse me.
Yeah, he'll be out there for right now at least. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs here in the top half of the 3rd inning. 1 run already home, and the bags are still full of black shirts. With Brady Penland, the left fielder, at the plate. The 1-0 pitch. And once again misses wide.
It's a little better. We brought it back in a little bit, but still is trying to make that make Hadley chase here.
2-0 pitch. That one is low. Another 3-0 count. Wow.
Yeah, I think if we see ball 4 here, we're gonna see a change.
He's trying right now his hardest to throw a strike, and we're gonna have another 4-pitch walk. And it is now 5-2. Lefty up in the bullpen now for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels.
At plate number 42, Karsten Jameson.
As Karsten Jameson now will come up to the plate for his 3rd at-bat in 3 innings. As that one bounces up to the plate. Ball 1. And now here comes Brock Whitney. And, boy, this is, I mean, Josh, this is, that's tough because there goes Yacono, and that's the end of his day.
Yeah, I mean,
tough one.
It's difficult to justify keeping him on the mound when he keeps pulling it, he keeps putting it in the turf, and not being able to get it to the plate. I mean, at the very least, with the bases loaded, he's not putting one right down the pipe that is going to be at risk for, a 3 RBI triple or something, or dare I say a home run at this Miller Park we have here. But yeah, it's a strategic change. It's a smart change, and we're going to see the lefty up here for Mountain Ridge take over.
New pitcher on the mound. We'll tell you who it is when we come back. Fremont threatening to add more to their 5-2 lead. Well, McKay Callahan is now in for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Ethan Yacono, Joe's just 2 2/3 innings. He gives up 5 runs on 4 hits. And Alexander Timop alongside Josh Dodge here at Miller Park here at BYU, and it's tough. It's tough to see that happen in a game like this, Josh, where everything's on the line, and your heart goes out to Ethan Yacono. He really did all he could to keep his control and command where it was, but it's tough to do when you're trying to avoid contact.
Yeah, he dug deep there, and he was trying to bring it back over the plate, but he just wasn't able to get it all the way there. And it's difficult to know exactly what's going on in a pitcher's head. If that first inning really fatigued him too much, or if he's got a case of the yips. Not speculating, of course, but you just don't know what's going on in his head, and unfortunately, it's be relieved at this point.
So Karsten Jameson comes in. He's already up 1-0 in the count. We also have 2 more in the bullpen warming up for Mountain Ridge as this one goes downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, and McKay Callahan seems to be an inexperienced junior pitcher. Doesn't have any wins credited to him, and only 5 strikeouts on the season.
And he's in a tough spot here, too, you got to say. Bases loaded with 2 out. That one is inside, 3 balls and no strikes, and now the Sentinels are in trouble again. They've given up 2 4-pitch RBI walks in a row, by the way. That one is a strike, taking all the way, 3 balls and 1.
Just able to sneak it in the inside corner there.
Karsten Jameson, 3-1 count, and the pitch. Ball 4. 3 straight walks And it is 6-2 Fremont. They put up another 3 spot in this inning.
Yeah, and if you're Fremont, especially with having 2 outs here at the top of the third, you're totally satisfied. I mean, like you'll keep taking these walks all day long. We'll just walk all the way around the park.
This one is ripped to third on a 1
There
pitch.
you go.
The inning is finally over. The Mountain Ridge Sentinels have a mountain to climb now. They're down 6-2 after 3 runs scored here in the third. We'll be back with the bottom of the third after this on the Rewind Sports Network. Ball 1 low as we start the bottom half of the third inning here. Alexander Tim up alongside Josh Dodge at Miller Park. And now it's 2 balls and no strikes. Two balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. And that's outside and high. 3 balls and no strikes. Already the count. And here comes Brig Grange out to the mound again to talk with his pitcher. We've seen a lot of this through the first couple of innings here, Josh.
Yeah, like we said, it's a highly competitive atmosphere, and both of these teams have exchanged a couple of blows early in this game. And Marziali's still chasing his 50th strikeout of the season, and definitely doesn't want to be taken off the mound here.
That one is a high strike. 3 balls and 1 now on the right fielder, Remington Edwards. Austin Ellis next to bat cleanup, and then Cooper Goff, the DH, will bat 5th in this inning. 6-2 Fremont, the 6 seed over the 3 seed here. That one is definitely high, and that's ball 4. And so a leadoff walk here for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. And that will bring up the catcher, Austin Ellis, here to bat.
And we see some action in the bullpen for Fremont as well.
Yes, we do. We have a lefty up in the bullpen. Good catch, Josh. Lefty up in the bullpen here for the Fremont Silverwolves. We got 2 righties up in the bullpen for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, as this is ripped foul up the third base line. Past Brock Whitney over there at third base, the head coach. Austin Ellis walked. And later was credited with the only run of the game, at least so far. Quick throw back to first, and in is Edwards. Six to 2 Fremont here in the bottom half of the third. Here's the pitch. This one is hit high in the air, down the line and right, coming towards the bullpen, and that is not going to be caught by anybody out there. It goes into the temporary bleachers. And it is now 2 strikes on the catcher, Austin Ellis. Fremont put up a 3 spot in the first and the third inning. Mountain Ridge checked in with a 2 spot in the bottom of the second inning, but could have had more if it wasn't for some timely base running errors. As this one is tapped foul up the right side off the end of the bat.
Yeah, there just seems to be an atmosphere and a sense of just antsiness and nerves from Mountain Ridge. They're making a couple of mistakes. You know, Iacono putting the ball on the turf multiple times before being taken off the mound, and luckily they were able to get a line drive out to third base at the end of that inning there. But they definitely need to.
Well, that's a wild pitch and a half, as that curveball went way over the head of the catcher into the backstop. That's going to allow the runner to get to second. So that is a WP charged to Anthony Marcial. That's been the story so far. We've seen a lot of we've just seen a lot of untimely things happen.
Yeah, and this is another opportunity that Mountain Ridge just can't squander. Like they are gifted a wild pitch, base advancement. So like they need to capitalize on it.
Ball goes high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here the count on Austin Ellis with a runner in scoring position. Mountain Ridge has had some untimely things happen to them as far as base running errors is concerned. And then that happens, a strikeout and a biggie.
And there's number 50 for Anthony Marzial on the season. Yeah, he's chasing that one for an inning and a half, really. So congratulations to him for his 50th on the season, but still got a lot of pitches left to go here.
Certainly do. Cooper Goff, now the DH, stands in with a runner on second and one out. First pitch is swung on and missed. Strike one. High cheddar, and Goff offered at it and could not get the grader on it. Marcial takes a look back at second, and the 0-1 is hit high in the air. Good luck trying to see this one. Got three black shirts around it, and finally Brady Penland comes over and says, "Get out of my way, I got it."
Good communication there. Don't want anybody running into each other, and just outside the infield fly.
Yeah, just outside the infield, and a pop out results in the second out of the inning. We've seen that a couple of times this year, especially when it's into the sun like this in the afternoon, where it's just a bear to look up and you can't even see where the bloody ball is.
Well, it would have been easier this morning with the cloud cover, but
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But pick your poison. Do you want the ball to be wet, or do you want to be looking into the sun?
If I had my choice, I'd rather have my eyes in the sun, because at least I know I have protection.
I don't know. Obviously,
but that's just me being the broadcaster, the guy who should be behind the microphone, not one on the field. Because what do I know? It's a pickoff attempt at second, and Edwards dives in just ahead of the throw.
Yeah, baseball, playing with your hands, obviously, you rely on grip. I played soccer, and it's a little bit different, where the ball does still skip across the ground, but it's a lot more fun, and all the running that you do, it feels nice to play in the rain or in the cold. So,
well, just don't tell that. Well, just don't tell that to Ty standing down here, who's doing the camera for us here this afternoon. He just hates all kinds of weather.
He's just an indoor man. He's an inside man.
Very simple life he lives, as that one is right at the knees for strike two. And Marcial one pitch away from getting out of this inning. As Mountain Ridge just remains hitless with runners in scoring position. 0 for 2 now with runners in scoring position. They've actually had 4 opportunities. Runner goes for third, and this one is smoked back to the screen.
And now he's got to trot back to second.
It's a lonely trot there for Remington Edwards, I'm sure.
Definitely. So still seeing that kind of that risk factor, trying to steal, and then trying to get back in this game,
That one is lined to second, and a great catch jumping up to get it is Tyson Grieve, and that will retire the side in the bottom of the third inning. No runs, one base runner left. And we'll head now to the top half of the fourth inning with the score remaining 6-2 in favor of Fremont on the Rewind Sports Network.
Mountain Ridge Sentinels 5.
Welcome back to the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of UHSAA baseball. Our coverage today is presented, of course, by the good folks at Igloo Outfitters. Get 20% off your next order with Igloo Outfitters when you use the promo code REWIND when you order from them online at igluoutfitters.com. We're also presented by Heidemann and Associates. Just like how the coaches have assembled a winning team to go to the plate for them today, Heidemann and Associates also has a qualified team that is committed to winning for you, the client, in any situation. Call them today at 801-754-4240 or visit them online at utah.law to schedule your free consultation with them, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network.
At the plate, number 44, Tony Marzial.
Anthony Marcial now leads off the top half of the fourth inning here as he swings and misses at that first pitch for a strike. A 1 pitch is lined down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Marcial will make the turn for second. Runner will coast on into second base with a stand-up double and a leadoff for Tony Marcial to begin this top half of the fourth inning. for the Fremont Silverwolves. As we're going to have a pinch runner now come out to replace the pitcher. Luke Penland will take it in as Anthony Marzial will trot his way back to the dugout, and Brock Whitney is once again emerged, and we are once again going to have a pitching change. So we'll take a break, and we'll tell you who the new pitcher is for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels after this word from Salt Lake Running Company on the Rewind Sports Network. Well, new pitcher on the mound for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. It's the new pitcher on the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. It's the right-hander Grayson Writing, who comes in from left field to take over for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels here in this top half of the fourth inning in a 6-2 ball game with a runner on second base. I want to remind you, of course, of the game going on at UVU in the top of the seventh inning. Box Elder trails Salem Hills 12-4, but they have runners on second and third with one gone. And we'd like to remind you that the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the 6A baseball tournament continues tomorrow. The winner of this game faces off against Corner Canyon at 4:30. And the loser of this game plays the number 2 seed Davis. Starts at 11 a.m. Coverage will start at 10:45 tomorrow morning, live from Miller Park with me, Ty Wilkinson, and hopefully Wilson Gustafson on the call on your home for the UHSAA Spring Sports Championships. KSL Sports Rewind. So Grayson Writing comes in from left field, and he will take over now to face the cleanup hitter Garrett Jones here for the Fremont Silverwolves. With a runner on second and nobody out, following the leadoff double by Anthony Marzial. And Writing will step off the mound. Wind coming in from right field, blowing from our right to our left. Now here at Miller Field. Here comes the pitch. This one is popped up high into the air. And that is going to land in the American Fork Cavemen over there, and Jared Ingersoll's crew has a laugh as whoever tried to get that pop-up booted it.
You should get credit for participating in this game and the next one.
Jared Ingersoll having a laugh there with his mates over there. The 20th year head coach about to embark on another trip in the UHSAA baseball tournament against the Syracuse Titans coming up after this game. 0-1 offering on the way. That is on the outside half of the plate for a strike. Max Johnson stands on deck. Here comes the 0-2. This one lifted in the air to center. And the second baseman will come out. Gonzalez makes the catch. And there's one out here in the top half of the fourth.
At the plate, number 14, Max Johnson.
So that'll bring up Max Johnson, who had the RBI walk back in the first inning. And then came around to score on the 2-run single by Tyson Grieve. First pitch on the way is swung on and missed, strike one. Penland over at second. Pinch running for Marzial, one out. As the home plate umpire telling the Fremont Silverwolves to step down from the top of the dugout. Oh, 1 pitch. This one is hit back to the screen, foul, 2 strikes. 6 runs, 5 hits, 1 error on the ledger so far for the Fremont Silverwolves. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors on the ledger for the Sentinels. Oh, 2 pitch. And that is jammed off the hands and fouled to the screen. Still 2 strikes. Runner stays at second to his lead. And the pitch. And that's outside and low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's a very familiar pitch that we've seen so far from these Mountain Ridge pitchers so far.
Yeah, remember Iacono put 7 of his last 8 pitches in the dirt, and most of them bounced, if not all of them bounced to the plate. Here's the 1-2. This one is hit into the gap towards left center field. That's going back. That is going to be caught. What a catch out there by Jackson Reiser. He will throw back in. The runner will not advance.
Great stretch for it.
How about that little stretch fetch right there from Jackson Reiser, as there's 2 out now on the F8.
Yeah, Mountain Ridge just really needs to reel in this game and get out of the top of this inning here. They do not want to be giving any more runs to Fremont, as they've already given up 2-3 spots in these first 3 innings.
And it was all sandwiched around, Josh, a 0 in the second, which makes it even more impressive, the fact that Fremont's been able to put up 2-3 spots and still contend with this offense of Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, it just keeps going with the theme of the day, where things are very up and down. Iacono had an 8-9 pitch second inning, with just multiple line drive flyouts into the outfield, and then just wasn't able to keep it out of the dirt in the third inning. And we've talked about multiple times just the approach to the game that both of these teams have, where Mountain Ridge is a little bit antsy, taking a lot of risks, making a couple of mistakes, whereas Fremont has been very cool and calculated about staying on bases, not advancing too much or overextending themselves, and just taking the game as it comes to them.
It's that small ball mentality that we touched on at the beginning, what was going to win out in the end. And it's playing itself out here right before our eyes, you have to say.
Definitely.
Yep. Anywho, here's the 2-2 pitch on the way from Riding. This one is hit to right and a base hit. They're going to send the runner. Here comes the throw, and it is going to be cut off up the line. And an RBI single is going to make it a 7-2 ball game.
Yeah, first baseman Luke Nelson wasn't able to handle the cutoff there to make the pickoff at home plate, unfortunately. And that'll score another one for Fremont.
7-2 now. First pitch on the way to Grady Garrett. He chops one to the left side off the bat on 2 hops. Throw over to first in time. And that ends the inning. But the Fremont Silverwolves do add another run on another base hit. And they now go up 7-2 as we go to the bottom half of the 4th of Game 2 of our quadruple header here on the Rewind Sports Network. Back here at Larry H. Miller Field at the campus of Brigham Young University here in Provo, Utah. Alexander Timolip and Josh Dodge on the call for Game 2 of our quadruple header of this opening round of the 2024 UHSAA 6A baseball tournament. It started out as a rainy day, but current weather 57 degrees, east-southeast wind now at 3 miles per hour. And it is clearing up a nice one here at Miller Field, but not so nice for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Trying to find a way to get back in this ball game after going down early 3-0.
And maybe they do just need a bit of a change of strategy, where it's just let's just get on base, let's not overextend ourselves too much, because the way that it's been going, it's just going to be more of the same all day. They're going to be down, and they're not going to be able to get back into it if they keep making these types of errors and not capitalizing on scoring positions.
This one grounded on 3 hops to second. Throw over to first in time, and Nelson grounds out to second, and there is 1 gone here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. In case you couldn't tell, they just shut the lights off here at Miller Field for now. We expect they will be turned back on once the sun sets behind us at around maybe 7 or 8 o'clock tonight when we begin the 4th game of our quadruple header. Mountain Ridge looking for something to get going here in the bottom half of this inning as that pitch is high and inside to Juan Gonzalez, who is credited with the only run-scoring hit of the game for Mountain Ridge. 1-0 pitch, tried to bunt his way on, but he went, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of the strategy change, I think, from Gonzalez. It's just like, let's just try to get on base, with that bunt attempt.
This one is fouled off to the left, and that's going onto University Parkway. Look out.
Might have been heading for Lavelle Edwards Stadium with how high it was.
I hope that's not headed for my car, because my car is parked over right behind us.
See, I was smart. I parked over by the Marriott Center. I don't think anybody's going to hit it that far today.
You never know with the altitude and the carry. That ball's inside 2-2 now. Two-two pitch. And that one is fouled right back to the screen. Two and two the count, one out here in the bottom half of the fourth. Here's the pitch. That one is high and inside, 3-2. Full count. Leo Bachoco stands on deck, the shortstop. He'll be followed by the top of the order, Stockton Folks, the third baseman, and Jackson Reiser, the center fielder. Full count pitch. Ball four.
The bullpen for Fremont is empty at this point, so you wonder if they put somebody out there just to make Marziale, get his head back in the game. But maybe they might trot somebody out there again after that walk.
Yeah, he's thrown close to 70, well close to 70 pitches now, you would think. So it'd be a good idea to try to get somebody up in that bullpen now, especially with how deep we are in this game. Anyway, here's Leo Bachoco now, the shortstop, with a runner on first and one out. And the pitch. Hit to the right side and a base hit. That's going to go all the way down towards the wall. Runner turns for third. They're going to bring that runner to third. And meanwhile, Bachoco gets in there with a stand-up double. And the Sentinels threaten yet again.
All right, now let's put a bookmark at this point in the game and then come back to this point. We've got two runners in scoring position for Mountain Ridge, and so are they going to be able to capitalize and bring both of these guys home to get back into this game? Because, when the sun came out in the second inning and it was a 3-2 game, it was let's play ball at that point. But Mountain Ridge finds themselves, down by 4 here in the fourth, and they've really got to get back in this, right?
This one is hit in the air to right. And it is caught. Will it be deep enough to score the run? The runners tag. And they will score that runner from third.
There you go. Sacrifice fly out.
So a sacrifice fly out. You are right. And it gets Mountain Ridge a run back. It's 7-3.
Now hitting 3, Jackson Reiser.
And now Jackson Reiser stands at the plate. Sentinels trailing 7-3. They've trailed by as many as 5 runs, 7-2. They were as close as 1 run in the second inning, but then Fremont put up 4 unanswered runs, and now here we are, a 7-3 game. And we're only in the second game of 4 this afternoon. That pitch is right at the letters for a strike on the inner half. 0-1 pitch. That one is about a 48-foot curveball that bounces up to the carpet. And it's 1-1. Remington, Edwards, Austin, Ellis, Cooper, Goff, the next 3 after Reiser. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that is right down the heart of the plate for strike 2. Good pitch. And so now Marziale 1 pitch away from getting out of this. The 1-2 offering on the way. And that is down low. That gets past the catcher. And the runner's going to score from third.
Oh. Did he tag?
He did indeed tag.
I mean, it looked
It
like...
was close. It was close, though, I will admit. It was close, but the passed ball allows the runner to score. And it is once again a 3-run game, 7-4.
Yeah, he definitely slid, with the intention to hit the plate when there was, there's nobody blocking it. The catcher's still behind the plate trying to get the ball, but it looked very close from my angle that he might not have hit the corner of the plate.
So 2 runs now have scored in this inning for Mountain Ridge on 2 base hits. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count, and the pitch to Reiser. Ball 4.
Well, Fremont gives Mountain Ridge a run and then walks another one onto base. It's not looking good for Fremont as they're letting the game slip away from them a little bit here. But still a lot of baseball left to play. But they've done well in first 4 innings so far. Let's just not see them collapse here.
And what did we talk about? That bookmark moment with the runners on second and third. Both runners scored.
Yeah.
Albeit from a sac fly and a passed ball, but still they score all the same way. 2 unearned runs.
Exactly. A run is a run.
Marcial throws over to first and back in as Reiser. As Remington Edwards now stands at the plate, we have a righty warming up in the bullpen now for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. That pitch is caught on and missed. Boy, Edwards was swinging at that with some bad intentions, but couldn't get any of the barrel on it. Arciali will step off the mound. Runner is Reiser at first to his lead. We're just past 4 o'clock p.m. here, local time here in Utah. We just barely started the second game. About 90 minutes ago, that pitch bounces up to the plate. And we could be headed for another dramatic game here this afternoon.
Definitely, and I think we're starting to see the fatigue set in for Marzial now as he's put 2 or 3 in the turf the last few pitches.
That's up high, 2 balls and a strike.
And now he's overcompensating.
Yep, and also we want to point out there's nobody up in the bullpen for the Silverwolves, so this is his jam to work out of right now. I mean, it's not really a jam, but in a 7-4 game in just the 4th inning, it feels like it.
Yeah, I mean, you just had 2 runs slip through your fingers.
That pitch is right there. Good changeup.
So at any moment, if you keep putting guys on base, it could end up just being a downhill slide if Marzial isn't able to rein it in here.
Got him looking, strike 3!
And he made me eat my words immediately.
He sure did. What a big-time strikeout of Remington Edwards right there. Edwards didn't like the call.
Did he hear? He must have heard me.
He must have heard you on that one. As Mountain Ridge gets 2 runs back, it's now a 7-4 ball game. Things getting interesting here in Miller Field. Ready to start top half of the 5th inning here this afternoon and game 2 of our quadruple header here on the Rewind Sports Network. We want to remind you, the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the UHSAA Boys Soccer Playoffs continues tomorrow with a quadruple header of semifinals at Zions Bank Stadium as Layton Christian meets Murray and Ridgeline meets Grand Canyon for the right to go to the 4A championship. Meanwhile, American Fork and Bingham and Farmington and Pleasant Grove will face off for the right to go to the 6A final. Coverage starts tomorrow morning bright and early at 9 o'clock a.m. with Alex Napolis and Carson Lance on the call on your home for the UHSAA Spring Sports Championships. KSL Sports Rewind. What a fireworks laden start we've had to the 6A baseball tournament. Corner Canyon upsetting Davis 8-6 earlier this morning. And we could be headed for another dandy here this afternoon in Miller Field. 7-4 is our score between Fremont and Mountain Ridge. Alexander Tumult alongside Josh Dodge. But Josh, this is what you want in a championship situation. You want these kinds of high-stress situations. You want these kinds of high-stress moments. This is what it's all about right here.
Oh yeah, it's good baseball, and to see these pitching changes or the at bats that these boys are putting in, it's definitely fun to watch and to be a part of. I'm glad to be here doing this.
Grayson Riding remains on the mound to start the top half of the 5th inning for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. The first pitch is on the way and is fouled back to the screen off the barrel of Jace Hadley.
Almost had some friendly fire there on deck.
Yeah, Brady Penland is standing literally a few feet away from that foul ball. 0-1 pitch. And that one, that doesn't even get to the catcher. That bounced up maybe in the batter's box.
Yeah, Penland had ice in his veins. That foul tip didn't seem to bother him much.
It was like Greg Urey earlier for Corner Canyon. As that pitch is down low, 2 balls and a strike. It was the same thing that Greg Urey did earlier. A foul ball came and hit him on the leg on the top step of the dugout. He didn't even flinch.
Yeah, I was focused on the view screen of the camera. I didn't see if it actually hit him or not.
It did hit him.
Okay.
It really did hit him, but he didn't even move a muscle. He just said, "What? I take those all the time."
Maybe it did hurt, and he just had to hold it together for his team. Didn't want any cracks in the armor seen from his team or anything like that.
Maybe. As we have a walk to lead off the bottom half of the top half of the 5th inning here. Brady Penland now will step to the plate here. 8-9-1 for the Fremont Silverwolves here in the top half of the 5th. Looking to advance to play Corner Canyon tomorrow afternoon. Bunt attempt, throw back to first, but Luke Nelson was way off the bag there and had no chance to catch the runner coming back. 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error on the ledger for Fremont. Another quick throw over to first. Back in is Jace Hadley. We've had traffic just about every inning of this tournament so far, the first 2 games. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one is bunted foul back toward the dugout. And now you would think that Penland is going to be swinging the bat here on 2 strikes.
Just a quick note, we do see some action in the bullpen for Fremont as Marziel really struggled to finish out that last inning.
Yeah, we got a lefty up in the bullpen now over for Fremont, back behind the cage. 0-2 the count, and the pitch is high and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And we also have a righty up in the bullpen as well for Mountain Ridge. So bullpen's active on both sides of the field. 1-2. Got him! Caught him staring at a fastball right down the heart of the plate, and there's 1 gone.
Thought about it, but I think he went too late and just decided to take the K.
So that'll turn over the lineup cards now for the shortstop, Karsten Jamison. First pitch on the way. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Throw is there! They didn't get him. Slid in just ahead of the tag. So runner goes into scoring position now on the stolen base. And Brock Whitney is once again out of the dugout here. He may be going over to try to plead his case to the third base umpire. It was such a bang play over there at second, Josh. I don't know if you could have made a call accurately off of that slide.
I mean, I definitely can't make a call from up here. I trust the umpire being that close to the bag. But, if I had to make a call from up here, I thought that he made the tag and that he was out. But, of course, I'm, 200 yards away from the bag. So it's difficult to say for sure. And it looks like he's going to stick with his call anyway.
Well, Brock Whitney has been, that's the 3rd time we've seen Brock Whitney out of the dugout today to try and argue a call, but all 3 times the umpires have given him a short leash and he has obliged. We thought he was very dangerously close to getting ejected in the very first inning of the game on a call at the plate. Here's the 1-0. This one is down low, 2 balls and no strikes. So there's a runner on second now with 1 out and a big-time insurance run out there at second base for Fremont to get. Jamison fires that one in there. Boy, he had some extra chili pepper water on that one. A little aggression came out there from the left fielder / pitcher. 2-1 pitch is chopped on the ground to second, taken on 2 hops, and winged cleanly over to first in time. And there are 2 out, but the runner does advance to third. So Brig Grange now steps in, and this is a big-time spot for Grayson Fielding to get out of, or Grayson Riding rather, to get out of. With 2 out, runner on third, trying to hold that runner and keep his team in it. First pitch is pop foul. That's onto the tarp. That's onto the roof. So that means it's time for another Any Hour Services random roof ringer. We'll get to that after this 0-1 pitch here from Grayson Riding. Here it comes. That is just off the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. All right, Josh, what do you got?
All right, so you and Ty talked about the fastest MLB game in history. What about the least attended baseball game in history?
I will have to say that's probably an Oakland Athletics game, and that probably happened very recently. I'm going to say that was, I think the attendance of that game was 3,000 at that Athletics game.
Yeah, I mean,
Am I right or am I not?
You're not, but to your credit, like it's a pretty dismal, atmosphere for the Oakland A's as they want to keep their team there, but have a change in owner. As we finish the inning here, we'll get you the answer to that when we come back.
Yes, we'll get you the answer to that when we come back, as the Sentinels are able to keep the Silverwolves off the board in the 5th inning. We'll be back with that in just a moment, with the Fremont Silverwolves leading 7-4 on the Rewind Sports Network. We have a new pitcher on the mound as we begin the bottom half of the 5th inning. It is number 5, Kobe Nance, who will take over on the mound. Alexander Timlip and Josh Dodge as we get set to start the bottom of the 5th. Okay, Josh, what was the least attended game in Major League Baseball history?
In 2011, due to Hurricane Irene, the Florida Marlins played the Cincinnati Reds in front of just 347 people.
347?
I mean,
wow.
It must have been while the hurricane was going on.
No, but see, here's the thing. You have to take that with a grain of salt, because at the time they were still playing at what was Dolphin Stadium at the time. So that's probably one of the reasons why. But 347, that's what you get for an athletics game normally at the Coliseum, don't you?
Well, I mean, you mentioned 3,000 fans, from this past season. I mean, that's still 10 times the amount.
That's true. It's still 10 times the amount. That's actually, that's actually what the University of Hawaii could fill their baseball stadium with, that, because the capacity of Les Murakami Stadium is 4,300. They could fill it with that. I mean, they could have as many fans there as they wanted. That is fascinating, but yeah, I mean, but that is fascinating. 347 people. That's as many people as you'll get in a BYU classroom most days.
Well, I think we've got more than 347 people here right now, I think.
Thankfully, we have more than 347 people here, I would think, as that one's left up high, 1 ball, no strikes. Our random roof ringers, anytime a ball hits the roof at UCCU Ballpark or the tarps here this week, as this is lifted down the left field line and foul by Austin Ellis, the catcher.
Yeah, you mentioned that we've seen Brock Whitney out talking to the umpires multiple times, and then immediately following his pitcher is able to put a couple of them right down the pipe for strikes. The head coach, it sets the tone for the team. When he's hot, his team is going to be hot. And hopefully that doesn't imbalance them and make them, get them off of their game. But it just shows that competitive spirit that, hey, this is playoff baseball. Right into the dugout.
Hello, look out!
For that foul
very,
ball.
very lucky that did not hit anybody in that dugout.
And they love it. Mountain Ridge loves it. They love the aggression.
But the other thing is, too, I mean, you see things like that. You see your coach getting fired up. That makes everybody else get fired up because, the energy carries over. And, we've seen that happen a couple of times as Nance brings down the 1-2. This one is popped up in the air to right. 3 Silverwolves coming over. Who's got this one? Right fielder says, I've got it. He does, and there's one out. I mean, that has a carryover effect to everybody else on your team, Josh. I mean, and you and Ty should know from playing enough baseball that sometimes you need that extra kick in the pants.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you know, anywhere from pitching to batting, catching, every position on the field is important, but at any moment you could have an error, you could have, you know, something go wrong in the game that just gets you off, and then it's just a theme and a landslide for the rest of the game. So if you're able to hone it back in, or if your coach is able to kind of shake it out of you, then, you know, you can really compete and you can really make a difference out there.
0-2 the count here as that pitch was swung on and missed. Here's the 0-2 from Nance. Outside corner, just misses to Cooper Goff. 1-2.
Yeah, because it's one of the most difficult things in all of sports is to hit a round ball with a round bat, and you got to hit it square.
Like that, on the ground to second on 2 hops, picked up, winged cleanly over to first. 2 up, 2 down here for Kobe Nance in the bottom of the 5th.
Good contact, just not the right placement.
As Tyson Grieve able to wing it cleanly over to Garrett Jones on the 6-3 putout, and there are 2 gone here in the bottom half of the 5th. Corner Canyon was able to put up a 6 spot in that 6th inning. Are we headed for the same story here this afternoon in this second game, as this one is popped up in the foul ground? Jones got it. Inning over. So the Silverwolves are still up by 3 as they set down the Sentinels. Ekahi Elua Aloha in the bottom half of the 5th inning. We head to the top of the 6th with the score still 7-4 Silverwolves. Well, there's the story of the wind right now. It's currently shifted, and it's going from right field to left field here at Larry H. Miller Park. Alexander Tim up alongside Josh Dodge for Game 2 of our first-round quadruple header of the 6A baseball playoffs. Glad you could join us wherever you are watching today. On this 54-degree day here in Provo, Utah, started a bit rainy, but it's cleared up, and now it is nice and sunny outside, and the field is probably drying up very, very quickly here.
Yeah, and it's beautiful out here. You know, we had a couple of people kind of look at us as if they wanted to get in the box with us from all the rain. Everyone's huddled under the tarp here at Miller Park, excuse me. But yeah, it's the sun's come out. People are sitting right behind the net and enjoying this playoff atmosphere between Fremont and Mountain Ridge, as it is 7-4 Fremont on top.
Fremont put up 3 each in the 1st and the 3rd inning, put up a single run in the 4th inning, part of their 4 unanswered runs to go up 7-2, and then the Sentinels answer back with 2 more runs at the bottom of the 4th. Both teams put up zeros in the 5th inning, so now we head to the 6th inning. And Josh, I turn to you now because if you're both teams, the time is now to take advantage and take control of this game, because it's a 3-run game, but we still have 2 full innings left to go, and anything could really happen.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about Marzial's kind of slip in the fourth inning of, you know, like you've got a lead, you don't want to give it back to Mountain Ridge. You don't want to give this game to Mountain Ridge, but I don't think that they necessarily need to do anything different in the way of their offense. Like they, you know, have been doing well, putting guys on base and making the right decisions, and they just need to continue doing that. Mountain Ridge, on the other hand, is the one that's kind of behind the 8 ball here and needs to make something happen here.
And they need to make it happen now. Tony Marcial is the now DH for the Fremont Silverwolves. Takes a strike at the knees, and this one misses the knees low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and he's a senior, and not only is he a great pitcher for the Silverwolves, but he's their leading hitter in RBIs and home runs.
And this one is smoked in the air to deep center field. Back it goes to the wall. That's going to get off the wall. Marcial's going to stop at second with a double. Tony Marcial gets you a guy who can do it both ways today. A leadoff double for Tony Marcial, his second base hit of the afternoon. And the Silverwolves are threatening again. As we're going to have a pinch runner for Fremont out to second base. It's going to be Owen Simpkins, number 21, replacing Tony Marcial, who you have to say, Josh, so far is the front runner for our player of the game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, being a two-way player and being really the leader of this team, he's really setting the tone and able to lead these Silverwolves to where they are now to this three-run lead.
Garrett Jones, the first baseman, batting cleanup, now stands in, and
nobody home.
Nobody home there at second base. Riding tried to step off, and no one was there.
That would have been catastrophic, throwing that out to center field.
This one is hit in the air off the end of the bat to right, trailing into foul ground, and that is going to fall foul as 3 red shirts get over there, but no one's able to come up with it. Closest one to it was first baseman Luke Nelson. Tried to dive out, but couldn't get to it.
Look at the bat just sitting on the plate there.
And it just you're right. It's just sitting there. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was just totally upright.
Garrett Jones literally did a standing bat act on the. I wish we had that on camera. I think we do. I'm not sure. I don't.
It might be in the bottom of the frame. Yeah.
It might have been in the bottom of the frame. Anyway, here's the pitch. And this one misses the bottom corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner in scoring position. Nobody out here in the top half of the 6th. Fremont trying to pull off another big upset here to open the 6A baseball playoffs. This one is hit in the air to right, on a line, and coming in and making the catch is Edwards. Runner will not advance. And there's one out here in the top half of the 6th. And that will bring up the third baseman, Max Johnson, who walked, then drew an RBI walk, then scored, and then grounded out. So he's 1 for 2 today, officially. First pitch on the way to him. This one is grounded towards short and gets through the shortstop. That's going to allow the runner to get to third. Simpkins slides in. I wonder how they're going to score that.
I mean, it's got to be an error.
And yes, it will be an error. It officially goes down as an error on the shortstop, Leo Bachoco. So there are now runners at the corners with 1 out as Tyson Grieve, the second baseman, comes up, and he had a 2-run single to make it a 3-0 game at the top of the 1st inning. So some high stress facing Grayson Riding again here in this top half of the 6th as the Silverwolves look to go for the kill.
And like I said, it's more small ball from Fremont. They got their guys on base. They're in scoring position, and they are just going to bat at home.
Runners at the corners, 1 out. Top half of the 6th, 1 strike. The pitch. Grounder. 4, 6.
Can they get the double?
They will not get the third. In the back door, coming to score is Owen Simpkins on the fielder's choice. And it is now 8-4 in favor of the Fremont Silverwolves, and that is a biggie. As Grady Garrett now comes up to the plate. More small ball magic from the Fremont Silverwolves this afternoon. Here comes the pitch from Grayson Fielding. And this goes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. I'd like to remind you, coming up at the end of this game, Josh and I will be talking about our selection for the Heinemann & Associates Player of the Game. Quick throw over to first. Back in is the runner, who in the driver's seat right now is number 44, Tony Marcial, with that great outing on the mound and the 2 doubles he had. This one is outside trying to go pitch out. 2 balls and no strikes.
I don't know if any of his teammates are going to be coveting that award away from him, but they definitely have to do a lot of work to
do so. Yes,
at this point.
Especially in an 8-4 game, as that pitch is called a strike on the outer half. Two-one pitch. That misses the corner. 3 balls and a strike now. 2 out here in the top half of the 6th. A run already home.
The free swing opportunity here for Garrett.
He doesn't. This time takes it. 3 balls, 2 strikes, taking all the way. So full count here with 2 out. Runner on first, 2 out, and the payoff on the way. He struck him out! Right on the other half, and that will retire the side. But the Silverwolves do get a big insurance run, and they've made it an 8-4 game once again as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning in Game 2 of our quadruple header on opening round day of the 6A playoffs. A look out toward the Wasatch Range in South Utah County. Alexander Timberlip, Josh Dodge, 8-4. Fremont leads Mountain Ridge. I'd like to remind you that the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA 6A baseball playoffs continues tomorrow. Catch us for 2 games in the morning as 2 teams try to stay alive and 2 teams try to move on to the semifinals. Coverage all starts tomorrow morning at 10:45 a.m. on your home for all spring sports championships, the Rewind Sports Network. Well, Josh, you and I were talking about just before we came back on about moving the bookmark from that 7-2. Here's another bookmark moment we can put in 8-4 because Fremont had the lead cut to 2, and now they have that insurance run. They're back up to a 4-run lead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and just like reading a good book, like, you know, it's good all the way through, but, you know, we got to come back to this point, you know, if Mountain Ridge is or isn't able to do something here at the bottom of this 6th inning. You know, they've got a 4-run deficit, and it's difficult in this playoff atmosphere to come back in the 7th, but
toward the hot corner at third, Johnson can't handle it. Long throw, not going to get the runner. And that's a start right there for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels as they are looking to get some traffic.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they need. Is just like, let's get on base, let's calm our nerves, and let's do something here in this inning. You know, because it's now or never for Mountain Ridge. It's with how this game has been going, they need to be clinical, they need to hit their marks, and they need to get in scoring position for sure.
So in steps Juan Gonzalez, and that one is just a little high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Score that, an error on the third baseman Johnson, so E5. Second error of the day for the Fremont Silverwolves. Here's the 1-0 pitch now to Gonzalez. That's a strike. Good, crisp fastball right on the corner. Gonzalez has one of the 2 as the only run-scoring hit of the day for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. And he swings and misses at that changeup in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As Kobe Nats trying to work around the leadoff error committed by his third baseman and trying to get his back. 1-2. This one is poked foul up to the left side. Good kick save there from Brock Whitney and fires it back over to the pitcher, Nats. One ball, 2 strikes against Gonzalez. Just missed the low corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the crowd doesn't like that call.
Look close to me, but not to the home plate umpire. They're the ones calling the balls and the strikes. 2 balls and 2 strikes now, 2 out. Nobody out. Runner on first, and the pitch. He swings and misses, and he struck him out. That's a biggie.
Oh, and we do have a different pitcher on the plate.
So up steps now Leo Bachoco to the plate, the shortstop. As we are just past 4:30 p.m. local time here in Provo. First pitch on the way from Nance is high and outside, a ball and no strikes.
Bachoco plays for Mountain Ridge. This is Nance Kobe Nance for Fremont. Sorry, pitching, I mean. And
Nance has done some pretty good work out of the pen here. 1-0 pitch. That's a good crisp changeup right at the letters. 1-1. Runner at first is Nelson. And the pitch. This one is chopped weakly up the line, foul. And 1 ball, 2 strikes, now the count. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error on the ledger for Mountain Ridge this afternoon. Bachoco stands in, and the pitch. Chop back towards second. They're going to go the short way for the force at first. And there's 2 gone here as the runner moves up to second base. So 2 gone with a runner in scoring position now, and that will bring up the top of the order and Stockton Folks. And we just talked about it, Josh. It's now or never for Mountain Ridge. They got to get this run in. That's a big run standing out there at second base. It's a big difference between a 3-run game and a 4-run game entering the 7th inning.
Definitely. And with 2 outs here, you got no option to do a sacrifice bunt or anything.
Yeah, you obviously don't want to put yourself in that situation.
Got to find that gap. This is a right-handed hitter, but the gap between the first and second baseman, if you're able to open your hips and hit it out into right field.
See if he goes that way. This one is hit in the air. Deep left center field. Back to the wall. That's going to drop into the gap. That will score the runner from second. Folks is turning. He's on his way to third. Throw comes in, and Folks is safe with an RBI triple.
And that could be the play of the game if Mountain Ridge is able to come back in this one. A RBI triple to again put another runner in scoring position for them as they're up against it here at the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs.
So here comes Jackson Reiser, 8-5, bottom of the 6th. And the pitch from Nance. That one is popped up. Good luck trying to catch this one in foul ground. And it is caught by the first baseman, Garrett Jones, and that ends the inning. But the Sentinels do scrape across 1 run on a big RBI triple by Stockton Folks. And we are set up for another great finish. To the last inning we go. Mountain Ridge and Fremont going down to the wire in Game 2. Well, the ball is now in the Mountain Ridge Sentinels defensive yard as Grayson Ryden goes back to work for his 3rd inning of work in an 8-5 game as the Mountain Ridge Sentinels look to hold this deficit right where it is. For the bottom half of the 7th inning, Alexander Timov alongside Josh Dodge here. Josh, we talked about how all these games outside of maybe the American Fork Syracuse game was a toss-up. We're seeing why right now. This is a big top half of the inning here for this Mountain Ridge defense.
Definitely, and you best believe that there's going to be guys in the bullpen, and Brock Whitney's not going to hesitate to put it all on the line here in this 7th inning. They've got to put work in on the defensive half, and then be able to come back in the bottom of the 7th here. But of course, as you alluded to right before we went to break, there's a big difference between a 3-run deficit and a 4-run deficit, and putting that hit into the gap into left center field is definitely what they needed to set themselves up for this 7th inning here.
Pinch hitter here for Fremont. It is Stein Taylor, and going into second base, meanwhile, there's a defensive change for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Number 21, Owen Simpkins, is now at second base. As the first pitch from Riding to Stein Taylor is at the knees for a strike. American Fork against Syracuse is our 3rd game coming up here in just a little bit. 0-1 pitch. That one misses the bottom corner, 1-1. Is there one more swing in the tail this afternoon before we hit the bottom of the 7th? That one is swung on and missed.
Made him chase.
Sure did. Change up down low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Again, Fremont just can't allow Mountain Ridge to get back into this.
He struck him out. Fastball right over the inner half of the plate, and Riding sends Stein Taylor right back where he came from with a strikeout.
Hitting number 2, Brady Penland.
So here comes Brady Penland now, and I would assume Stein Taylor will likely take over for Jace Hadley in center field in the bottom half of the 7th inning. So a little extra defensive insurance for Fremont on the back end as that pitch misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 pitch. Strike called right at the thighs. One pitch is foul tipped into the ground, so it is a 1 ball, 2 strike count here against the left fielder Brady Penland. Ty Wilkinson and I have the rest of the games for today. And hopefully Wilson Gustafson will be good enough to go tomorrow, as that one is fouled again.
If not, you might see me back here, hear me back here, whichever.
Which of course, it happens. Life happens sometimes, and we're prepared for that. So we appreciate Josh Dodge, of course, stepping in for Wilson today. We hope Wilson's feeling okay. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped up weakly towards the foul netting, and it hits the backstop, so we're going to do it again. Eight runs, 7 hits, 2 errors on the ledger for Fremont. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error on the ledger for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. Mountain Ridge has put up, Fremont has put up a run in every inning except the 2nd and the 5th. By contrast, Mountain Ridge has put up runs in all the even number innings, as that one just misses the outer corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Back to the screen. Two pitch. Got him.
Digging deep for Riding.
Right in on the hands.
See, now this is where Fremont's small ball doesn't exactly come into play, because they've got 2 outs and they've got nobody on base. So if they want to put anything on the board here, they're going to have to swing big.
And Brock Whitney, meanwhile, is going to make a move, I believe, for the bullpen here as he's coming out to the mound. And Grayson Riding is going to be pulled. So we have a pitching change here for the last batter, potentially, of the top of the 7th inning. Grayson Riding does his job. Now it's up to the others of Mountain Ridge to get it done. They still trail by 3 with 2 out in the top of the 7th. Well, new pitcher on the mound for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels to start the potential last batter here of this top of the 7th inning. There are 2 out and nobody on, with the leadoff man Karsten Jameson now pitching.
Yeah, and that's just a fresh arm to really bring the heat to get this last out. You don't want to put anything up to chance here with this game on the line.
You want to keep this deficit right where it is for the bottom half of the 7th inning, with Jameson at the plate especially. First pitch on the way is on the corner for strike 1. Strike 1 pitch on the way. That is also on the outside corner, strike 2. So number 18, Riker Morton, coming in and giving some fresh juice out of the bullpen. And he's got the Sentinels on their last strike. Or rather, the Silverwolves on their last strike of the inning. 0-2 pitch. And he misses the corner that time, trying to get him to chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the 7th here as we're just waiting for one of the American Fork players. Jet Walker, the shortstop, number 2, trying to get back into the bullpen. 1-2 pitch. Got him! And the Mountain Ridge Sentinels strike out the side.
Quite
in
the
the top half of
calculated
the
change
7th inning.
there.
And that brings us to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance coming up for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. The bullpen does their job. Now it's the offense's turn to produce a comeback. Our view from the top of the Y here at Larry H. Miller Field, as it's last call saloon for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels. They are down by 3 runs as we are into the home bottom of the 7th. Alexander Timolip and Josh Dodge. It was Colby Clausen, number 13, who got the final out on that strikeout on 3 pitches. So now it's Colby Nance and his turn to come in and get the long version of the save. The win will go to Anthony Marzial should this scoreline hold, and Nance will be credited with the save. And Josh, we talked about bookmark moments. It's a 3-run game now, and this is it.
Oh, and I just want to mention that that change for that last out for Brock Whitney, putting a lot of faith and trust into his sophomore Colby Clausen, only his 6th strikeout of the season, and possibly one of the most important if Mountain Ridge is able to do something here in the bottom of the 7th to save this game.
Starts off with a pitch in the dirt, ball 1. To Remington Edwards, Austin Ellis, and then Cooper Goff next. 3, 4, 5, heart of the order, ready to go here for Brock Whitney Sentinels as this is chopped foul off the hands. 1 ball, 1 strike. I mean, if it's possible, Colby Nance might upstage Anthony Marzial for the Player of the Game award. That one is up high, 2 balls and a strike, because he has done some great work out of the pen here for the Fremont Silverwolves.
Definitely.
And their head coach, Garrett Clark. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to short. Picked up on the backhand, throw over to first, couple of bounces. Still got the runner. And on the 6-3 putout, there is 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th.
Just 1/3 of the way to advancing.
It's going to be the longest 2/3 of an inning, I think, of Colby Nance's career right here.
And he's got to dig deep, and he's got to hold his water.
And there is no one in the bullpen right now for the Fremont Silverwolves. Here comes the first pitch to Austin Ellis, and that's down low, a ball, no strikes.
Yeah, this is Colby Nance's show for the rest of the way.
And you got some members of the BYU baseball team, including head coach Trent Pratt, watching over in the box to our right as the pitch just misses the bottom corner, 2-0.
And they're really crowding the plate now, Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, trying to get any advantage they can on the pitches on the inside from Colby Nance. 2-0 pitch. That one is right there at the knees, strike 1. No runners on, 1 out. Next pitch. Fly ball to right, foul over the right side of the line. And into Helaman Halls. 2-2 now. Colby Nance has 4 strikeouts in relief of Anthony Marzial, who has 2 doubles in addition to his strong quality start on the mound. 2-2 pitch is ripped foul up the third base line. As Riker Morton goes out to go retrieve the foul ball down by the line. Two-two pitch. High fly ball down the left field line and foul. Was heading for the Big 12 logo out there in left field. Austin Ellis just a little bit out in front of that one.
You know, and I have to correct myself from earlier in the game. I had said that Jackson Reiser was Mountain Ridge's leading RBI or leader in RBIs. It is actually man at the plate right now, Austin Ellis, up at bat.
And he now has worked the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 8 pitches thrown coming up in this at-bat. As the Fremont Silverwolves try to shut the door, Nats' 3-2 pitch is popped up way high over the tarp. And that's going to hit the roof, so that's another random roof ringer presented by Any Hour that we're going to have as soon as this AB is done. Three-two pitch. High fly ball, deep left center field. At the wall, that's going to hit off the wall. Throw comes back in quickly, and Ellis is going to be held at second with a stand-up double. And that means the tying run is in the on-deck circle. What a big-time swing by the catcher. And we're going to have a pinch runner now go out. That's Cannon Honeycutt to replace him. And we're also going to have a pinch hitter for the Sentinels coming up. It's Anderson Decker, who had the 10 strikeout performance on Friday at the mound. Now has a chance to put a big hurt here in the scoreboard. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning and the tying run in the on-deck circle. First pitch right at the knees for a strike. Quickly, go ahead.
All right, I've got to break the tension here real quick. So a big league player can hit a 90-mile-per-hour pitch with more than 8,000 pounds of force during the millisecond that the bat is in contact with the baseball. You know, we mentioned how hard it is to hit that ball with that round bat. So, and the ball leaves the bat at a speed of 110 miles per hour on average. That's just incredible metrics. Like, putting math to baseball is just the kind of difficulty and force that these athletes bring to the plate.
A 90-mile, but that's amazing. A 90-mile-an-hour pitch getting hit 110 miles an hour. That's just insanity.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch. Got him! Swinging strike 3! And that is a biggie. We've said that a lot today on both sides of this pitching staff, and that means Mountain Ridge is down to their final out this afternoon, and they could potentially strand the tying run in the on-deck circle.
Big leaguers can throw 90 miles per hour, but these high scores are definitely bringing some heat today.
First pitch from Kobe Nats is up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner out at second, and the tying run is in the on-deck circle. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. That's right there. Strike 1. Kobe Nats just wheeling and dealing right now for the Silverwolves.
There's one cold man on the mound.
1-1. High fly ball in the air to center field. Sends the center fielder back, and the Fremont Silverwolves are moving on.
They dug deep, they played their game, and they were able to get the job done without letting it slip away. Congrats to the Fremont Silverwolves as they complete this dominant performance over the Mountain Ridge Sentinels.
3 runs in the 1st and 3rd inning and single runs in the 4th and the 6th proved to be the difference, and the Fremont Silverwolves pull off the stunner. And they are moving on to the 2nd round tomorrow afternoon to face the Davis Darts.
Yeah,
Josh Dodge, it's time to name our Heidemann and Associates Player of the Game. But before that, final thoughts.
That's our second underdog that we've seen win today, and it just seems to be tail of the tape that, putting guys in scoring position and capitalizing it, holding your water and not allowing things to slip through and such. So, love what Fremont did today. They were cool, calm, and collected throughout, and and Colby Nance particularly got the job done at the mound.
And-
bringing it home for the Silverwolves.
And I think you're going to like this. We're going to give co-players of the game today for this game presented by Heidemann Associates. It was Anthony Marcial who did it on the offensive end with 2 doubles and an RBI on the afternoon. And it was Kobe Nance who came in out of the bullpen, 2 innings, 5 strikeouts, gets the save. What a dominant performance this was by their pitching, by those 2 pitchers today on the mound.
Definitely. I think that's very apropos, being that this is a team sport and, one pitcher can't go the whole game. So why don't we just put both pitchers up there, and the performance that they had, putting this game away and advancing the Silverwolves on to play Corner Canyon tomorrow.
Fremont has done it. They have advanced to play Corner Canyon. It will be the 10 against the 6 in tomorrow's second round game. And it will be Mountain Ridge Davis leading us off tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. in an elimination game. And Josh, you have to say, not the 2 teams I think we expected to be in the elimination round this early in the tournament, but now the 2 seed and the 7 seed, or the 3 seed rather, the 2 top seeds will have to battle it out to see who stays alive.
Definitely, and it just, pays onus to what playoff baseball is. It's no matter how the regular season went and what your seeding is, it's you win, you advance, and you got to take care of business. You got to dig deep and be competitive in this atmosphere, and leave nothing to chance, and leave it all out on the field. And I think that's what Corner Canyon and Fremont did today.
Great working with you, Josh. Thanks for jumping in on Wilson's behalf, and hopefully we see more drama, because I think we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah. It's a great day for baseball. Love it.
Josh Dodge, thank you very much. Ty Wilkinson on the camera, thank you very much. The final score, once again, is Fremont 8, Mountain Ridge 5. We're just getting started, folks. Game 3 will be coming up in just a little bit. You're watching the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA 6A Baseball Playoffs.